Welcome to the Explainer. You know that feeling when it seems like your own mind is working against you? Well, today we're going to dive into a really powerful spiritual teaching that does two things. It diagnoses exactly why our minds get so tangled up, and then it shows us the way to set them free.
So our guide for this whole thing is this short but seriously powerful text. It comes from a spiritual pilgrimage to Mount Jiuhua in China. And what's amazing is how it lays out this incredibly clear map, a path from a mind that's just stuck in a struggle to one that's genuinely clear and, liberated.
Okay, so we're going to follow the text's own journey, which breaks down into 4 parts. We'll start with the mind in chains. That's the problem. Then we'll hit a turning point, explore the mind of virtue, and finally we'll walk the path to clarity. Pretty straightforward, right? Let's get into it.
All right, first up, the mind in chains. What I really love about this teaching is that it doesn't start with some pie-in-the-sky ideal. Nope, it gets right down to it with this raw, really honest look at the untrained mind. A mind that's just caught in this constant, exhausting state of struggle.
So the text kicks things off with this really potent image. It's talking about that feeling, the one, where life just feels totally out of your control, where your past actions just keep creating this constant storm inside you. It's that nagging sense that no matter what you try to do, these cycles of injustice and resentment just stick to you.
And it doesn't stop there. The text breaks it down even more. See, it's not just one single thing. It's more like this tangled web of forces. They're all connected. We're talking about habits we just follow blindly, right? The karmic consequences of stuff we've done in the past, and these endless looping cycles of blame that just keep us completely stuck. It paints this incredibly vivid picture of a mind that's just completely tied up in knots. And there's actually a name for this state. The text calls it the unseeing mind, or Wu Ming Sin. Now, it's really important to get this. This isn't about being smart or not smart. It has nothing to do with intelligence. It's all about clarity. Think of it like a fundamental blind spot, a delusion that just stops us from seeing the real cause and effect of what we do. And ultimately, it keeps us from seeing reality as it actually is.
Okay, so after laying out this, kind of bleak picture of the entangled mind, the text does something totally brilliant. It doesn't just leave us hanging there in the dark. It pivots, and it asks one single profound question that literally becomes the turning point for this entire teaching. And this is it. This is the absolute heart of the matter. The question is, if our mind is all clouded up and unseeing, how on earth can we possibly perceive something that's supposed to be perfectly clear and enlightened, like the Buddha mind? It's such a brilliant question because it forces you to stop and realize, wait a minute, the very tool I'm using to see, my own mind, is the problem. So the real question becomes, what kind of mind is even capable of seeing clearly in the first place?
So right after dropping that bombshell of a question, the text immediately starts to give us the answer. It starts to describe the qualities, the virtues, you could say, that actually define a mind that can have true, clear perception.
And what a contrast it is. Look at this. The journey it's laying out is a total shift from a mind stuck in resentment to one filled with compassion. It's about breaking free from being trapped in those endless karmic cycles and instead feeling genuine joy and ease. And really, when you boil it all down, it's the path from a life that's all about me, to one that's defined by true selflessness.
And the text gets super specific here. This isn't about vague, fuzzy ideas. These are tangible qualities that we can actually work on, that we can cultivate. Like sympathetic joy. Think about that. It's the simple act of being genuinely happy for other people. Or a deep forgiveness that isn't for them, it's for us. It frees us from carrying around our own burdens. Every single one of these virtues points in the same direction, toward that ultimate goal, true selflessness.
One of the most beautiful concepts in the whole text is this idea of tong ti da bei, universal compassion. The characters literally mean something like one body, great sorrow, which is just, wow, so powerful. And this isn't about pity, not at all. It's this profound aha moment, this realization that we are all so deeply interconnected that someone else's suffering is, in a very real sense, our own. This is the kind of compassion that just dissolves the whole idea of me versus you.
Okay, so we've seen the problem, right? The entangled mind. And we've seen the solution, the mind of virtue. But the big question is, how do we actually get from point A to point B? Well, the last part of the text gives us exactly that, a practical, no-nonsense map to follow.
And right here, the text makes this incredibly powerful declaration. Your mind is the master of everything. All your progress, all virtue, all of it. It comes from within. It's not about finding some secret thing outside of yourself. The gateway to seeing clearly is your own mind. I love this way of thinking about it. Your mind is both the camera and the thing the camera is pointed at. You look with your mind, and at the same time, it's your mind that you're trying to see.
And it really all boils down to these 4 key principles. It's like a recipe. First, the foundation. Your mind has to be upright. Step 2, your intention has to be sincere. You really have to mean it. Third, you have to be crystal clear on the principle you're working with. And finally, the method you're using has to be the right one. See, it's the whole package. Your state of being, your why, your what, and your how.
So in the end, what this beautiful teaching from Mount Jiuhua is really telling us is that there's nowhere else to look. The source of all our suffering, all that resentment, all that delusion, it's all happening inside our own minds. But, and this is the absolute key, so is the source of our liberation. The power for real, profound change isn't out there somewhere. It's right here, right now, inside each and every one of us.
And so we're left with this one last powerful question to carry with us. If your mind really is the master, if it's the architect of your entire experience, what are you telling it to build?